We're talking about making money on Underdog Fantasy. So my first play for today is Max Domi over 2.5 shots on goal. So you'll notice if I hover over this little icon, you're going to see Underdog Fantasy 3 or 5 pick. So when you're playing on Underdog Fantasy, any pick in a 3-pick entry, you're getting minus 122 odds. That is the implied odds that you're getting. So when you're betting on Underdog, you don't want to play 2-pick entries. I mean, we've kind of discussed this before. I have done videos breaking down the math behind Underdog Fantasy. So you really never want to be placing 2-pick entries because you're getting minus 137 odds, which means you need to win 57.8% of your picks to break even when you're playing 2-pick entries on Underdog. Now, with 3-pick entries with no insurance, you only need to win 55% of your plays to break even, which is minus 122 odds. So we've gone through the math. I don't want to dwell on it, but long story short, on Underdog, you always got to be placing 3-pick entries or 5-pick entries. And you'll notice that, in all of my plays on Underdog, like I'm literally just showing you guys what I bet. And you'll see right here, this bet lost, but what a surprise, it's 3-pick entry, 3-pick entry, 3-pick entry. And again, also just consider bankroll management on Underdog. I've kind of gone through my stats on Underdog. It's a really profitable book for me, but you can see it's very whippy, right? Like even if you look at my 2023 profit on Underdog, we're up 30K. It's a very exploitable book. Big swing up, big swing down, big swing up, big swing down. This is a platform where we're wagering, right? $500 to win $3,000. So these are crazy parlays we're putting our money on, and you have an edge. You can still have an edge and make money on this platform, but just, consider your bankroll, manage your bankroll effectively, use the Kelly criterion, stuff like that. So the first play I'm on is Max Domi over 2.5 shots on goal. Right here, we know we're getting minus 122 odds. On Underdog, look at the odds on the sports books. Frickin' FanDuel minus 138. Most sports books have this priced around, minus 145 odds on average. Bet Online, a really sharp sports book, has this minus 147. Bovada and Pinnacle have this at minus 150. So, right, what you need to remember is minus 150 means a bet is a 1.5 to 1 favorite. 1.5 to 1 is 60%, right? If you put in minus 150, that means a 60% win probability. That's the implied probability the sportsbook is saying. So sportsbooks, right, they imply win probabilities through their odds. The more juiced lines are in favor of the over, the more likely that sportsbook is saying the over is to occur, right? So Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker out there, if we go over to a no vig odds calculator, right? So you can see, FanDuel, they're less aggressive on the over than Pinnacle is. So if we put in FanDuel's market, they have the over juiced to minus 138, the under at plus 106. So the over is still the favorite outcome, right? The betting lines are juiced towards the over, minus 138. So you're winning the over. According to FanDuel, the win probability is 54.43%. So this is just called a no vig fair odds calculator. It's really the most important calculator on OddsJam. So I definitely recommend reading all this text. So FanDuel's model, right? And again, all sportsbooks have different odds, different models. They're taking different bets, moving around lines. So we have a bunch of data points. FanDuel's telling us, this bet is winning 54.43% of the time. Bet Online is more aggressive, right? They have the over more heavily juiced, minus 147, plus 113. So we're going to see that Bet Online thinks the over is more likely to occur, right? 55.9%, according to Bet Online. So we have a bunch of data points all telling us essentially what's the win probability for Max Domi to go over. And all of the sports books are in agreement, right, from PointsBet to DraftKings to Bovada, that the over should be heavily favored for Max Domi. Pinnacle has this minus 150, plus 113. So you can see right here, that means a 56.1% win rate for Max Domi over, for his over to hit. The over is hitting 56.1% of the time, according to Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker out there, right? So long story short, that's the first play I went with. If you're winning picks in an Underdog entry 56.1% of the time, your profit margin, right, on 3-pick entries is going to be 5.94%. So I also went through this in kind of the previous video I did about Underdog Fantasy. So you can put in your win rate into this spreadsheet, and I'll put this spreadsheet in the description on YouTube. You can put in your win rate, how often you're winning a bet, and this will tell you your ROI. So if you're placing 2-pick power plays on Underdog, this play is actually horrible. Max Domi over 2.5 shots on goal. Your ROI would be negative 5.58%. And again, that's why it's so critical to really understand the math behind these platforms and how Underdog works, and why you always want to be going with 3-pick entries, no insurance, 4 picks with insurance, or 5 picks with or without insurance, because literally placing 2-pick power plays or 2 picks as opposed to 3 picks will take your ROI from positive 6% to negative 6% if you're winning 56.1% of your plays. So first play I went with, when I'm using OddsJam, literally I'm just going to the EV tool, select the sportsbooks you use, and then I'm looking for 3 plays on Underdog. Here you can see there's 4, so I just ended up taking the 3 most profitable ones, literally just following the data. We have Falk under 2.5 shots, Green under 9.5 points, Domi over 2.5 shots. I literally just followed the data. I mean, it's that simple if you want to make money sports betting. You have to don't follow your gut, don't, chase losses, follow the data, deal with losing streaks, right? It's going to be whippy on Underdog. It's going to be whippy in general as a sharp bettor. You can see when I first started playing on Underdog, I went down 12.5K in 2022, then up 50K, right? This is all from verified bet tracker Pickett Sports. But anyways, here's what I ended up going with. Literally just plays from the EV tool. Hopefully this was helpful in explaining Underdog Fantasy, kind of the math behind this platform. Always go with 3 picks, no insurance, 4 picks with insurance, 5 picks with or without insurance, and then you're getting minus 122 odds. And you can just use the OddsJam EV tool to see where books have an over really heavily favored, and you're getting a lot of value on Underdog, taking it minus 122. So that's what I got. Hit the refresh button, see what new plays are available, and let's make some money, guys.